cooler. Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. Come in, come in, come in. Answer the question too. Let's see. Who divided America? There's two of y'all in here, man. It's not the literature. Double tap that stream. Did China flip Trump? Did you vote for high gas prices, no birthright, and the Iran war? Did you vote for all this shit? They said no deal was struck with the Chinese that they want to tell us about. I'm pretty sure they came to the conclusion on something. Two of the biggest powers on the planet meeting up, they came to an agreement with something. The Nvidia CEO, Jensen Huang. Nvidia, ain't that's Taiwan? I'm trying to tell y'all, it's all a big host. Taiwan is deeply embedded in Chinese business and politics also. When they give us the facade is that it's a satellite nation in China. I don't think so. So we've been dealing with China already. That's just Taiwan is probably the buffer. What's going on, Daniel Bird? What's up with you? Wait. I'm not in sports, but they say dude retires 4 days after signing. Wow. He must got a fucking signing bonus that he ain't got to get back. How does President Xi Jinping, the United States, $14 billion weapons deal? See, China, if y'all ain't had that beef with um Taiwan, y'all can get that 14 billion that they spending on weapons to protect themselves against y'all. And that's crazy. And that's how China probably looking at it. If we didn't have beef with them, they wouldn't be spending 14 billion on weapons for America. We'd be, you know what I mean, getting the motherfucking unrealized gains off of that 14 billion. 18 of y'all in here, man. Let's double tap the stream. Who divided America? I mean, did China flip Trump? Did you vote for high gas prices, no birthright in the Iran? What's your opinion? Did the volume come back? Did the volume come back, y'all? Smash that like. Trevor, y'all in here, man. What's going on with y'all today? How's y'all day? You know, the Eagle flies on Friday. So before you go give it all to corporate America, make sure you drop some off to your respective community. Smash that like, y'all. Chilling, Daniel. What you got going on today, fam? Did you enjoy this beautiful day? It still feel good out there. 77 degrees, sunny. 16 of y'all in here. Can I get each and every last one of y'all to double tap the screen at the same time? Did China flip Trump? Did you vote for high gas prices, no birthright, and the Iran war? What's your opinion, family? Yeah, they say that Trump and them ain't come up across no definite answers, but or definite uh agreements, but you know they did. So shit, I had to check my value for myself. But you know they came up with something. They probably split the world up. You say fuck Israel and fuck Trump. I go for it. Alicia, what's your opinion on Trump? Do you think he's going to lead us into destruction? You think he ever going to get back on track, or what? Well, overall, I mean, did you vote for Trump? Did you vote for high gas prices? No birthright in the Iran war. It changed your mind about him, or has it always been fuck Trump? Smash that like y'all. Share me out. 23 of y'all in here, man. Double tap the stream. It's not the motherfucking lecture chair. What's your opinion? Your opinion is greatly appreciated. Harry says, Dems need black votes, so created division. Well, the black vote has always been the backbone of the Democratic vote. You do know that. It's the black vote has always been the backbone of the Democratic vote. Who else did Trump? I said Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, Mike Pence, Rubio, DeSantis, J.D. Vance. It all depends on what kind of government you're looking for and who you represent and who you support. And as the candidates, so many candidates out there. Elisa says, hello, he is trying to distract the world from huge crimes Epstein found. But you know what? You think that it just stopped with Epstein? And you thinking it was just Epstein? And he was just one of the many people that was the envelope passers and money handlers and pimps that's associated with power. Epstein was just one of them. You know what I mean? You think those people stopped lusting and having those urges and needs? You say Trump divided America, David. That's what it is. How's your evening? Shout out Logo. You said who else divided America besides Trump? I knew what you had, man. Smash that like, y'all. 21 of y'all in here. Double tap that stream. Tap, 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 tap. It's free. It's not the electric chair. 200 people been in here since I went live 8 minutes ago. So everybody, when you come in, double tap the stream, man. Smash the like. It's free. Double tap and answer the question. Smash that like. What y'all think? My opinion, people are misinformed, says Eric, on what Trump is doing for America. So inform us, what is Trump doing for America in your opinion? And it's not to debate you. I'm just trying to get uh, where you coming from. Morgan Freeman says to stop racism, stop talking about it. Dems gonna shut the fuck up about it. Wake up. Morgan Freeman sucks, Harry. You don't nobody listen to what no entertainer can tell me about my religion and politics. They're here to entertain me. Make me laugh, make me cry, make me feel emotional, whatever movie you're doing, but getting involved in how I'm living, no less. No, you can't. You're a product. All these entertainers, you know that they're products, right? Maybe. Maybe. But can you show me where you're getting your information at? Too many criminal organizations getting rich by Trump choices. Netanyahu. Okay. What's this seven, Saeed? What's seven? What he's doing, what he thinks is best for, is not helping the low class people, but prices is going up. He's trying to erase the low class people. He's trying to make sure there are none. No, they're trying to even make being homeless a crime. That was already in the Jim Crow law. That's how a lot of black people got beat out of free labor after slavery, they arrested them because they ain't have nowhere to go. Vagrancy was a crime, so lock them up, send them on a state farm, and matter of fact, lease them out to a bunch of farms and get them. I mean, to make some revenue while you know, false imprison them. All right, Alicia, thanks for coming through for that support, family, and your opinion was greatly appreciated. Todd, what's the gravy, baby? Chilling with you. What's up with you? KKK, his father, his mother. So, man, the KKK was everybody's father and mother. Online, lying in the words coming out of his own mouth, anti-Trump rally. Didn't listen to what he says and does. Man, Trump ain't said shit that he did. Everything he did, he said. You see what I'm saying? He ain't everything that he's supposed to be helping the people. He ain't do. Why is our president over in China sucking up to the communists? I thought they were our greatest adversary, and Trump may as well be giving Z a handy shower and communists for praise. I heard. I'll let you. You tried. I tell King Shorty you did your best. Two at your feet and two at your chest. You said Trump is the biggest crook. He one of the biggest crooks because there's still some more out there. But yeah, I mean, he getting money. I mean, but you asked the question, why is he in China? But you know that China visit was already planned. You have to go and talk to the opposition, man. Right, as well as China needs us. And what we need out of each other is cooperation too. Because two world powers, if it's a bunch of he say, she say, and talk of war and rumblings of war, it's gonna eventually happen. And we're not on the same page. That's what I say Trump is doing right by connecting with the boss. I don't talk to workers, I talk to the boss. Why I talk to these other little bullshit countries when the greatest threat is China? Yep, they got that rare earth. Of course, I'm going to talk. Eric says he's done a lot more for America than Obama and Biden ever did. We don't really know what Obama and Biden did because they weren't as transparent as Trump. Trump simply is doing a bunch of shit that I haven't seen for Americans, but doing a bunch of shit no less, and you know, glorifying it and speaking on it. Doja's done this whole, and the tariff has made these millions of dollars, and I saved that Minnesota. It was a hellhole. You know, he's one of those ones that talk about shit that tell you, you know what I mean, what he did because you know he's bragging and boisterous. But Obama and Biden ain't got nothing to do with what's going on now because we deep into the Trump administration right now, family. Yeah, he said he was his friend and all this shit. Yeah, he's suing the IRS. You can't see what I'm saying? He's suing his country. He's suing the people. Biden went to China with his son to pick up a bag of money and diamonds. Shit, that's the best thing to go pick up. I mean, money and diamonds. Who don't want to be rich? In 2016, when Trump ran, he said China was ripping us off, and now we're being nice to them. But you know that could go both ways. You know what I mean, keep your friends close and your enemies even closer, or it's business. You know what I mean? You got the politic. You can't go over there with a mad face. I mean, you get more with a smile than a ground, than a smile than a frown. Shit, that's in the name of the game, trying to steal secrets, and we have yet to even prove that it was the weather balloon. Maybe that was a media gaffe. You know what I mean? We have yet to prove that it was. And what have we? If they shot two balloons over there, we shot over here. They shot thousands. We shot thousands of balloons probably over their shit. That's probably just a little game they play. And being that the world is so transparent, none of that shit is secret. That would have been top secret, and the government only knew what the play was. Now, shit, cameras everywhere. Motherfucker bound to catch it. Know what I'm saying? And they said, ain't this crazy? He already sued one of these government Jones and got some millions of dollars, didn't he? He already did something like that. Ignorance to the government dividing America. Okay. Can you explain your opinion on that? Um, Otuku Cocker? China steals our technology and out competes American business with commodities, and we just love China. Space does, and they are all in using AI. See, we got a lot of restrictions because China don't give a fuck if they take their people's jobs. We give a fuck because the jobs that get taken are going to be our jobs. Johnny boy, what's going on with you? Chilling. The politics is business as usual. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how they call Trump racist. He's hundreds of rap songs. Yeah, he's an opportunist. I remember he was on a Coca-Cola commercial. He could still been a racist shit. He might have been just trying to get paid. All the people that promote hip hop and steal from the rap world and the black people, they're racist. They don't just because they delve in the business of it doesn't mean you know what I mean that they don't that they like it. I saw that Chud the Builder got a motherfucking $1.25 million bond. And that's crazy. Chuck. And what's he facing? He's facing what is he facing? Discharging a firearm and attempting murder or some type shit, ain't he? Yeah, because he's a New Yorker. You know, New Yorkers love New Yorkers. Of course, most of the rappers that were saying his name was New Yorkers. Tupac even said his name. Um, Raekwon, the chef said the Black Donald Trump. Matter of fact, one of my peoples out of Florida, that's his rap name, Black Trump. Right when Trump was president, right after that, when Trump started leaning towards Nick Fuentes and all those white nationalists, that's when they got away from him. But Trump found out that that was the grassroots base of MAGA. He was building his hardcore MAGA foundation then. So I understand it. It's politics. Why deal with the black people when they're not his number one lobbyists? I have to go where my constituents are. So that's what that was. You know what I mean? Chucky, what you got going on this weekend, Chuck? You going to see that movie God is God? I mean, is God is? Yeah, he in shit hundreds of man shit. But he was an opportunist. Maybe he doesn't dislike black people, but he still might be racist against them. You see what I mean? He might be tolerant in working with them because that's promotion. Mentioning his name, you know, Trump in the black community was known for his opulence because of his casinos and coming from money in New York and being a semi oppressor. Chud the thug. Now he gonna be on cell block 6. Trump about Trump, and if not putting money in his pocket, he don't give a fuck, and that's true. Harbor fact: Trump was sued for refusing to rent black people. He took out an article calling for the death penalty for three. It was more than three. It was like 5 of them. And Trump supporters fly Confederate flags. How can they predetermine how policies will read before they're debated? You know how they can do that? They have an analytics and data machine that can tell you when the crime is going to be committed, who's going to commit the crime, or when the death is going to happen, or any myriad of things. Like who they can predict the Super Bowl, the World Series, FIFA, all that shit now. They have these data and analytics machines. AI is a motherfucker, dude. You better wake up. Yeah, 5 black men. Yeah, but it is what it is. Trump was no less just being a white guy with that one. All white people were trying to burn their ass. That's what it is because they automatically think we're guilty. Black people did it. All of us can fight. All of us rap. All of us steal. All of us smoke weed. We all got big dicks. All our women have a bunch of babies, and we still not the majority. You know, there's a lot of little, things that they think about black people. Trump went to China and gave them a piece of his mind. I bet you he didn't, Chuck. He ate his shrimp fried rice like everybody else. Now, how policies will play out. What you mean? Trump refuses to rent a black woman back in the 60s and 70s. As a lot of y'all white people refused to rent a black woman in the 60s and 70s. It was the norm. Y'all act like he was doing something out of the norm. That was the red line tactics right there, if you know anything about politics. And it was the norm not to rent to black people. That's why before desegregation, when we were segregated, we kind of prospered because we managed to, some of us own a piece of land and some houses and we rented to each other, creating these, you know what I mean, real estate empires. A lot of black people got rich off of renting to their own peoples and having their own stores and barber shops and mechanic shops and um, pharmacies and stuff. But as soon as we integrated our dollar into America, that shit went just right with the American dollar. Like that's what they wanted. They wanted that $1 trillion black dollar. As soon as they got their fucking hands on it, they did just like Europeans do. They invested that shit in some bullshit on a whim. That this Donald Trump gets on my nerves. Can't stand that guy. Avionic says that's what it is, Avionic. His daughter know how the black method is true. Whose daughter? Harbor, we talking about? Explain that. Where they can just come later and down the road and forget all the damage they're done and the members of the party all through they voted. But you know what I mean? His wife is along for the ride. If you didn't see her doing that shit on the inauguration with that blue hat and all that stuff, just her whole thing was her whole time she was the whole 12 months she was in the White House the second time. This 12 months was she was shooting a movie. And they copyrighted the when he got sworn in, you can't use that shit. She copyrighted it for her movie. The whole Donald Trump 2.0 been a money mission, fam. And I'm in full agreements with it. If you ain't gonna get rich, what you doing it for? Because you know he putting his life on the line just to show us he's the president. And some people say most of these attempts on his life have been, you know what I mean, setups. But what if just even one of them is real? So for real, I'm in full agreement. I'm gonna get paid. If motherfuckers gonna be at my head, I'm gonna get paid. And it's just it is what it is. And once you didn't read all the comments, you skipped one. I was talking about the Supreme Court because we already there. And what is that, Cocker? Go ahead and say it again. It's all good. Ask John Jr. That's why she with the Tiger Woods. Man, she went to Tiger Woods because Tiger Woods got that black in him, and he probably got a different kind of swagger. And Tiger Woods is laid back. He got his money. His shit is there, and all he do is rest, dress, and finesse, and play a little golf and sip on Drambuie all day. Don Jr. is still not found his place in the world. He's still under the banner of the Trump family trust, and so he got to make moves when Pops tell him. And Pops probably be, being with the family. Pops he probably be. If Donald Trump is as crazy as he is with those people, those reporters, shit, he probably talk cash shit to his own baby. So you just never know. Maybe Donald Jr. won't hit in that pussy. And it is what it is, you know what I mean? But if she went the money, why would she run to a fucking construction worker? He ain't gonna get her the motherfucking Donna Karen and all that bullshit, the Van Cleef and all that stuff that women like to have and the trips to San Tropez and all that stuff. She went to Tiger Woods and damn Tiger might even be so inebriated and drunk that he might not even watch what she do. But dealing with Don Jr., she gonna be under that microscope because this is one of the president's kids, and there's a certain amount of security and I mean, and transparency that goes along with it. Smash that like, y'all. Shit, there's a lot of y'all exes with a black man. You say Biden and Harris. How do you explain that, Brandon Clark? Erica Clark, Erica Kirk. She's something. I still don't trust her. Too many fraudsters in America, says Glenn Levy. That's what it is. But yeah, that's that shit crazy though. A lot of y'all exes with a black man. I ain't nothing wrong with it. They just arguing policy. They all sat there and damaging the economy when the Supreme Court ever passed his bills while they just talk. Because Donald Trump don't give a damn about the Supreme Court and all that shit. He used his powers of the executive orders. I ain't even never seen the president because okay, with the internet, we be privy to all this shit now, but I never thought a president could do stuff like Donald Trump doing, and he probably never thought he could do it until whoever's behind him, they really do understand the powers of the executive orders and they are really implementing them. Don Lemon, yeah, remember all that shit was popping off with Don Lemon? Where is Don Lemon? Ain't he out on bond though? He didn't pick the whole Supreme Court. Did Donald Trump pick Katanji? What's the name? Katanji? Smash that like. Barack Obama is the one that divided America.
He's the one that signed executive order says don't worry about it. Executive orders to allow propaganda into the news. He's the one that started ISIS, and he's the one that funded ISIS. I would say the Democrats funded and started ISIS, though I do believe that. But all that other shit with the media been fucked up. Why not Ted Turner, Hearst, any of these media moguls throughout the decades? Why Obama controlling the media? No, I don't think that one's true. That part ain't. Frank Motley, why you say Obama? What do you think about white people think? I think, how can I get out of bed tomorrow, work all day, put food on the table for her and her kids, pay rent bills, keeping her off my back, same as all races of men. Nah, I ain't doing it for her. I'm doing it for myself. So if you're doing it for her, what happens when she don't want you to do it no more? Or you can't do it no more? Is she gonna replace you? You understand what I'm saying? So do it for yourself, Johnny. You keep saying for her. That don't make sense. First of all, to do anything, if you're not doing it for yourself, first and foremost, you're never going to do it in earnest. Because to do it for somebody else, that person don't want you to do it for them no more. So come on, man. Change that one up, Johnny. And that's just me, Johnny boy. DEI been around. That's suffrage. Google what suffrage means. Women's suffrage. That's where DEI comes from. The white women when they was protesting and trying to get their rights. Your Susan B. Anthony's and I mean what's the president wife name? Eleanor Roosevelt. You know, they was fighting for women's suffrage. And Margaret Sanger, even the one that started the abortion shit, but but it had its birth in Sojourner Truth, a black woman that said, "Ain't I a woman?" And the white women got their little rights in 1-2 zone, and they brought their sisters in. And when they started working, they started meeting the sisters and getting out in the world. And the sisters done turned the pastor on to them, and the pastor telling them everything that they can get to offer. That was the birth of the civil rights. Women, black and white women linking up on their way to work. You feel me? And then the black women brought in Chester and pastor and everybody else. Come on here. You know what I mean? That's the birth of civil rights. And now the face of civil rights, I would say, is the LGBTQ community and the Latinos are the face of civil rights right now because they're the one, and the immigrants because they're the ones that their civil rights are being violated the most. Smash that like, y'all. You say you love President Trump. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Barbara. What's going on with you? Welcome back. Greatest con artists ever, like Tony Montana, and you are looking at the bad guy. And if all the motherfuckers sitting around the same, but you just scared, but one thing is the father time is the champ. Shit. Bush and the rest of the Republicans are the ones who issued the bailout. Obama just came into office, and all they do is, well, Obama was just there for maybe a face card. He did what he had to do. He signed over the rights for the LGBTQ to get whatever they wanted to get in America. And Donald Trump came in and flipped it. Double tap that is frizzy. When the policy they offer you can see is different than just spending money. They are the tax mandates that every pay equally because you know that's just a lot of mumbo jumbo family. Let's be real with it. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't about dollars, it don't make sense. You understand? All that other stuff, that's just no less standing there reading the Bill of Rights. Know what I mean? Unless you really can break it down and you can speak a bunch of that ye old English mumbo jumbo, that's all it is something to memorize. You know what I mean? He did what he had to do for the LGBTQ community, though. Chilling Gander, what's good with you? Welcome back in. That's what it is, just politicking. You know what I mean? He wasn't here to save nobody. He was here to sign some shit over so that some people can live. I understand it. They was his number one lobbyist. They put bread in his pocket. They supported him. Not us. All we said was my president is black, and some of y'all said that black motherfucker. Be honest. Y'all hated on him because he was a man of color. Finally getting that break, trying to beat the heat. Right. It feel good here, 72 and sunny. The LGBTQ community, not the LGB. The LGB has always been here. That's our loved ones. And if somebody said they don't know somebody that's a member of the LGB, lesbian, gay, bi, you're lying. They're the biggest, you know what I mean? But the TQ ones, I'm not understanding them so much. You understand? And what did he do for them? He let them gender bend. He let them get married. He did so much for them. He gave them a life, which I don't see nothing wrong with that because those if they're that organized in community, they are amongst themselves in their community and they're doing what they got to do to further their happiness. So I don't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Taco line bastard ass Trump says Ronald. Nice. That sounds like good weather. Yeah, it's chill. Obama was the most celebrated president during his first term, at least. I don't know, thermally. A lot of people did not like Obama. I say Obama did this thing. He did his job. He did what he came to do. Whoever would lobby for him, he gave them what they wanted. So I ain't got nothing against him. Y'all double tap that stream, man. Nah, because they don't run the elections properly. You were never voting for a black man in ways you voted for a progressive. Right. You weren't voting for a black man. You was voting for an African American, his daddy from Africa. You were voting for, you know what I mean? Because it was different values that he was pushing. He was more progressive and liberal with his views. You weren't voting for uh barbecue on Saturdays, church in the morning. You know what I mean? Pastor Green is my pastor as black man. He was voting for somebody that was of the black community. Right, but it probably was a bipartisan agreement to get him into office because remember, they was coming off of a lot of black progressive shit and the black people ain't get nothing. So with the, you know what I mean, hey, we gonna give you a black president, he gonna come in and make it, you know what I mean, official, all the work y'all been doing. And then nothing. But that's what happens. They get you behind the shit and they lie to you. So it was more Obama needed black people. Black people didn't need Obama because they had already been doing their thing and will continue to do their thing and has continued to do their thing and embrace them into the community. But we are aware that he is not, you know what I mean, like us, as the boy Kendrick Lamar say. Not disrespect that he is with us though. We with him. Black people are loyal. We don't switch and trick up. You know what I mean? Like we got some black people that's down with Trump. I can only respect their loyalty because I know where it's coming from. It's coming from that's what kind of people we are. Until thus far, whatever that you believe in a person and we believe in them, we will go down with the ship. That's how we've been raised. Whether, you know what I mean, you might be wrong. I'm gonna ride with you and you wrong, but when we get to the house, I'm gonna punch you in the head. We got to fight because, you know what I mean, you got me into this bullshit, but I'm gonna ride with you though. That's how I've been raised. Man, we ain't here to lamb-base Obama, Brandon Clark, about some goddamn cages and shit. Trump might put you in a cage, dude. We ain't here to talk about what he did wrong. We just was, you know what I mean, touching on why he was the president. There you go. You about to start a full-blown witch hunt. Damn. What's Trump doing, Brandon? And I'm not saying you ain't gotta say what is he doing bad, what's he doing good? What Trump doing, man? Right. And they're the president. I respect their moves because you know that they don't make the moves themselves. It's the administration. And at the time, Obama was a good team player because he was with the Democratic style of politics and whatever they was doing, that's what he did. You understand? Just as well as Trump is with whatever the Trump administration is with, that's what Trump's doing. You understand? You better bet black people are loyal. Donald Trump. We talking about we stuck with this country all these motherfucking centuries and still ain't get shit. Fuck you mean? Black people ain't loyal. You ain't never heard of no black uprising going to no other country on a mass scale. They're like, yo, fuck America. We want y'all to give us this so we can leave them alone. Nah, we been here right with the white folk, with the Mexican, with the Chinese that got selling Chinese food and ain't but some black soul food. We been right here, fam. What you talking about? Black people aren't loyal. What you talking about like in the streets? Ain't nobody loyal in the streets. So in the real world, it's dog eat dog. You know what I mean? But as we talking on citizens and representing for the country, representing, yeah, black people are the most loyal motherfuckers I know with this American shit. Cause we they'll be like, that slavery shit don't I don't care about that. Let's get money. Ain't nobody talking about flipping the government. We chill over here. That's why they ain't, I mean, they black folks chill. Ain't no black people walking around having no meetings nowhere with white hoods or with no nothing on talking about let's do the government in. Black people having meetings on talking about how much money we can get, man. And who can, you know what I mean? The Constitution ain't shit, man. We always talking about the Constitution, but y'all notice that they bend the Constitution. depending on who it is and what's the reason. That Constitution is nothing but Play-Doh. I'm a Trump guy, but he's not some buzz as he was in his first term. Something happened. What do you think happened, Johnny? You because his first term. Oh, so you was with him when he was with all that goddamn white supremacy and white nationalism. You know what happened? Geopolitics. That shit is looking backwood and local yokel. Nick Fuentes and them. You notice he don't even fuck with them. They're not international enough. They want no money in that shit. Ain't no money in a bunch of goddamn discourse and beef. Ain't no money in it. So that's why he left them alone. How did Obama start the Democrats or something, Keith? You say Obama divided America and Democrats continue with it. Can you explain that situation, Keith? And what's going on with you? Yeah, the money, that shit, you keep hollering about, you'll never understand, man. And whatever Obama did against America, he got paid to do it. And it was from lobbyists with the LGBTQ community. You know, they built up a war chest. They had the Black Lives Matter popping off. They had their own situation where they was pushing. And then they had all other kind of situations that they was backing. I believe they probably put some money into the George Floyd stuff, kept it stirred up in the media and stuff so they can make money off of it. They're still around the LGBTQ ones with the power. They do the little No King stuff. I went to a No Kings rally. It seemed like it was all old people. Like, what the fuck is this? A Woodstock 54th anniversary or some shit? Everybody is old as fuck. Been retired. I mean, been invested in 5, 6 different timeshares. Everybody wearing old school Brooks running shoes and light Lands End LL Bean jackets. You know when you wear LL Bean jacket and Lands End, you order straight out the magazine, out the book. You old as fuck. You know what I mean? You can check some of my shorts. I've been to these rallies and got out there with the people, and it's a mixed crowd with people. Some people are in support of Trump, but you don't see them out like this. It seemed like a staged event with the No Kings though. The No Kings, that shit seemed, I was like the latest person out there for the black community. It was some people out there that was my color, but it seemingly they was on the fringes of society. And anybody that was out there that was under 30 or even under 50 was on the fringes of society. They had a quirk with them. Like it was a lady dressed like the Statue of Liberty. It was a lady dressed, she had on a cape and crown, and the frog was out there. I talked to the frog. You know what I'm saying? I done been out there and asked who divided America. It's a mixed bag of why people think and who they think did it. They got money tied and all that shit. They wouldn't be saying his name. But George Floyd want nobody. I didn't get behind that shit. It's still going on. They just had one. I went to one recently. Go look at my shorts. I went to one and lady was running up to me telling me that they like my logo. Smash that like. I would say that though, credential. Trump is Netanyahu lapdog on that Iran shit. But that's just crazy. That's just crazy. But y'all think Trump failed y'all by saying that he wasn't gonna go to war and then he came in on the war ticket? Smash that like y'all. Share me out. Are y'all getting over there turning on the notification bell, man? Thank you there, Johnny boy. It's free. It's not the electric chair. It will not shock you, fam. Definitely won't. What y'all think? Trump and Xi Jinping. What do you think they talked about? And who do you think was the aggressor? Who was talking like they had? You know what I mean? Because for real, Trump is going in there with a loss because he didn't get that Iran shit wrapped up before he went over there and talked to dude. And dude, what do the Chinese got going on right now? I know they're killing some of their own Muslim people, and they always got some sanctions, but they ain't got too much where they in that Taiwan stuff. But Trump has actually a full blown war going on that I think he lost because you don't negotiate, like somebody said earlier, that they're terrorist countries. So what are they doing negotiating with terrorists? Okay, that's what it is. It's the notification shit popping off. A lot of people say they don't get the notification. But I'm trying to get everybody to go over there and support the channel because I'm on the road to 100,000. I'm trying to get one of them YouTube plaques. Am I wrong? You know what I'm saying? Also, if you want to support the channel, I got the Cash App posted too. I mean, feel free to tap that bid. But yeah, Donald Trump, him and China, they might have got on the same accord. Like, look, we the bosses with the sauce. Let's get together and you know what I mean, do this shit. You just never know. Politics is a motherfucker. Would you be mad with China if he went over there and signed a pact with them to maybe they go ahead and split the shit up? And next thing you know, in a couple of weeks, China is taking over Taiwan, and Donald Trump is really going in hard on Iran. Because I'm gonna say this: Iran has held their own, and with the United States threw at them, but I don't think the United States has even used a inkling of the weapons that they have at their disposal and trying to take it light and not going to like just destroying the motherfuckers and how it would look in the eyes of the world. You understand what I'm saying? But it is giving everybody that's going up against the United States in the future a glimpse of a rewind the tape, a playbook of how they would attack and what they would do first. So, you know, I would say to be careful with that if I was a military advisor because other people that is watching, even little countries like Iran, are like, if we could just manage to survive, maybe we won't get the accolades, but we'll still get to survive. You understand what I'm saying? China's watching it. They're looking at the weapons the United States using. They're looking at who they send out first. And it's a good time to if they can get the data analytics of what's there, they'll know the capabilities and what it is and how to kind of attack it if it ever. You know what I mean? That's the thing about it. And then knowing that they can get the data analytics for that, they might even attack from that point in Iran, where the United States has been so weak that they didn't overtake the people. That's what they say. They've been saying that shit for years, Nicole, about the Social Security. I mean, I guess it was before then, but when they started building the island, yeah, China been building islands and all that shit. But if China doing it, United States doing it. Matter of fact, Saudi Arabia did it. Remember, they got all these them man-made islands that shaped like the world and um palm trees and all that shit. So it's nothing that's unusual in the world, and it's in international water, so it's unclaimed, and so they claiming it by know what I mean? I don't see nothing wrong with it. If China got it, best believe the United States has it also. Which Virgil? Who? Turk? Chucking and jiving. You say what happened? Is it Turk? Because what's Turk doing? That's the Virgil you're talking about, right? The world, yeah, that's a man-made island. They got a lot of that shit out there. And look, that shit failing. Ain't nobody really even buying that shit. They thought people was gonna swoop in and I mean, I want to live in Australia, but I mean, nah. I go for that. Trump is a nut job, Armando. Oh, Virgil Abuelo. I don't know. Virgil Abuelo was the nigga that was linked with what is that? White, whatever, you know, with Kanye, and he got the job at Louis Vuitton. Virgil Abuelo. I don't know. Maybe they say he killed himself, he died, had a disease or something. But that was the nigga that Kanye was down with. He was creating that swag. He the one that was selling the plain white T-shirt for like, you know what I'm saying, $1,000. America is always divided in some kind of whether it's the Democrats or Republicans, which is a gang, it's Bloods and Crips, it's Vice Lords and goddamn GDs and BDs, or it's you know what I mean the Rotary Club against the Moose Lodge, or you know what I'm saying, the longshoremen against the short shoremen. America is always divided. You know what I mean? I drank Pepsi, she drank Coke, but we still, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You ever notice that too, along the lines of even with soda products, people have their picks. Y'all know Nike and well Reebok, Puma and Adidas were the same company. They're brothers. They had beef. One of them was pro-Nazi. One of them was anti-Nazi. You know what I mean? One of them snitched on the other one, and they separated whole sections in Germany with their Puma versus Adidas beef. They never reconciled either. That's why if you look at it, Puma and Adidas were at least up until like the 80s and 90s before they sold their name, they looked similar. They had the suede, they had the samba looking Pumas, all and both of them was trying to get the endorsements. And the first person to work with them when they was brothers in the same company started with a D, um, was people like Jesse Owens, the black track star that came to Germany and lit their ass up and ran past fucking Hitler racist ass in astonishment. But America is united in more shit than we divided. We just don't realize it. Smash that like, man. It's 32 of y'all in here. Let's get them likes up to 100 right quick. Let's get them likes up to 100 in 15 minutes, man. It's 27 now. Double tap the stream. Let's make it happen. Let's go, let's go, let's go. For sure, Gander. People, and when they do talk, they want to just talk. They don't want to listen to anything or take any positive feedback or constructive criticism. They just want to talk when they do sit down. And I mean, that's the problem too. Sometimes you got to be a ear. Turn your mouth off and become an ear, and then you'll learn a lot. I mean, then you can. Christians been divided. That's why they got Episcopalians, Evangelicans, Lutherans, Baptists, Protestant. You know what I'm saying? They've been divided, family. And all of them at war with each other. Like the Latinos are predominantly Catholic. They been getting put out of the country for being illegals, and they're getting put out by the Protestants. It's the War of the Roses all over again. Smash that like. But what's gonna be crazy if Rubio or JD Vance become the president, because then it'll be two powerful people that are Catholics in the world, the Pope and two powerful Americans that are Catholics in the president. And so that's gonna be a unique twist. Nope. The guys behind the curtain is no less just like the Wizard of Oz. It's smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? Somebody sent them, somebody set them up with that shit. I mean, here you do this and you do that. And if you get jammed up, don't mention my name. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, and black people, y'all should know better because it happens every day in the black neighborhoods. They never really get the motherfucker that's getting that bread. They might get Pookie because he went and bought a Benz living in low income housing. They might get JJ because he run around with a whole goddamn half a truck on his neck. But they'll never get Mr. Green because he's somewhere working at a supermarket in a suburb. He is the true mastermind. They'll never get the people that's really in power, fam. But Marco Rubio, like somebody brought up earlier, you think they're ready for a Latino president? You know what I mean? Marco Rubio is Latino. You think they, but they, you know what I mean? They may be. I get that, but the chosen people in APAC are divided evangelical Protestants against other Christian. Man, they always been at war. They showed you that when they showed you that with what was that with the Knights Templars and the Hospitallers and all those different motherfuckers. Each one of them had a different cross on their chest, and each one of them had a different agenda and reason being of why they was, I mean, doing what they was doing.
I'm saying, is they ready for a president, a Latino president? You see, they can't get Obama out their mouth. He scarred a lot of these motherfuckers by being a man of color and becoming the president. Even Kamala Harris as vice president, they can't get them out of their mouth, out of their heads. They always say something derogatory and they distaste for somebody of color running the country. So, do you think they're ready for Mark Rubio? And why do you say that, SRP? Can you give me 3 reasons? It's not the debate, just to see where you at as an American and you know what I mean, why you feel the way you feel that Donald Trump is the greatest president ever. You worse than the guy that said Donald Trump was the smartest. And what was that what to? Are they ready for Mark Rubio, a Latino president? That's the what. And y'all leave some questions underneath of this live stream and or answer the question, who divided America? Are you ready for Mark Rubio, a Latino guy, to be the president? You know, any topic you want to discuss or anything that you want to avoid of to vent a voice right now, leave it underneath this and hype this live stream up. You know what I mean? In the end of it. Leave a comment, man. I'm interested in your feedback. A lot of y'all are highly opinionated and you know what I mean? And I'm willing to respond and give my 1-2 on it or even just to listen to yours. Because a lot of times we be highly opinionated, but nobody's listening. That's why I got this shit on slow motion. So if it's something that's up to par, I'm gonna get it. It's not. I'm not. It's not gonna just. You know what I mean? You say Obama was a real president. He was upfront and honest. Okay. Nicole says Congress decided. Johnny Boy says double tap that scrizzy wizzy and a flizzy. Yeah, we up to 30 likes. Let's get these likes up to 100. All 22 of y'all in here. If you haven't done it, double tap the stream. It's free and it's not the electric chair. You say Israel, that's what it is. Name 3 reasons, 3 ways that Israel has divided America. And it's not to debate, just to see where you're coming from as an American. The MMA unk. The MMA unk, that means you must test shit up. I think the two parties of government divided the country and don't know if we could ever come together again. I always like to be quiet, go into a room, and just listen to people to know what's going on around me before I start talking. Me too. I like to see what's the but I go to a lot of rooms on the internet and I just listen because you know to engage is to be interested and some of it is just not interesting. If I ever been in your live stream and I gave the 1-2 or what up greeted you and you know because I like to greet people in their language like my man Benji. When I come in this room, I yada yada, you know, the West Coast type of shit. He'll understand it. What I'm saying, I'm like, "What up, bro?" And he'll brah. You know what I mean? You know how they do on the West Coast. I'm talking about real West Coast niggas, not like the gang niggas. I'm talking about them laid back West Coast niggas, brother. It hit me up. But or if I go into a African brand, a Yambo, Amazuri, you know what I mean, Mihao, I mean Konnichiwa, whatever. You know what I mean? I'll greet them bonjour. I mean, I greet them in whatever. You know what I mean? Omar who? Which Omar? But you know what? A lot of them tried, and you know what I mean? Obama. Obama did it. But see, that's the point. Brush yourself off and try it again. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Right. I mean, your opinion is your opinion. I can't say, yo, that's some bullshit because if you believe it, maybe you got a different analytics and statistics and different information than me to come to your conclusion. You feel me? Smash that like, y'all. That's what America's about. We need all need to get our chance to be listened to. You know what I'm saying? All right, Gander, good looking out coming through. Yeah, these Versace trademark. Always, I mean, dude, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not against Trump either, dummy. If you would have been listening, relaxing music instead of texting that bullshit, you would have figured it out. Smash that like. This country been divided before the Civil War. But you know that the Civil War was no less like a new world order with this country, and we're not realizing because the country had broken up, and when it got back together after the Civil War and the Reconstruction, it was a whole different country, and it was instituting a new world order. Nobody ever, you know what I mean, really understands that or says anything about that. After the Civil War, there wasn't the same United States that went to war with each other because it was hostility still there. A lot of the infrastructure was broken up and had to be reorganized, and who was in power before the Civil War was not in power, or I mean, even you know what I'm saying, it's just, have y'all ever realized that after the Civil War it was a new United States? It wasn't the one George Washington had created. This one was, you know what I mean, different laws and different methods. You say Trump divided and win. That's what it is. But make sure y'all leave a comment now, like if you got a particular topic you want to discuss or anything that you want to say pertaining to this conversation that we had right here. Did China flip Trump? Did you vote for high gas prices, no birthright, the Iran war, and even on who you really, if you want to get really in depth on who you really believe divided America, because a lot of y'all got different concepts, interesting, I mean, reasons why. Trump is an opportunist. You see, y'all, he was hanging with black people. He was hanging with black people because they had what he needed. He was hanging with white supremacists because they had what he needed. He's hanging with globalists, oligarchs like Elon Musk and them because he has what he needs. To be a politician, a good one, you have to be a chameleon. The politicians need to learn that. You have to assimilate sometime. If they talking that talk, you got to talk that talk. Know what I mean, you have to assimilate. I'm not saying what he's doing is right or wrong, but I'm saying what he's doing is working for him. Whatever the like the whoever's lobbying and putting the money in your pocket, you don't have to be able to talk that talk because they're the ones that's gonna be dependent on you, not the motherfuckers that's voting for you. The ones that's voting for you, they believe in you. They're fueling your, you know what I mean, your rise. But the ones that's dependent on you are the ones that put the money in your pocket because they don't want to fuck up $2, $3 million, $4, $5 million, $100 million on some. You know what I mean? They want to get shit done. That's why Obama did what he did for the LGBTQ because they put some money in his pocket. I don't blame him. I don't blame Trump for whatever he doing because that's how politics is. And yeah, Trump old as fuck, dog. Like 80 years old, man. Trump is not America's problem. Trump is an American. America is America's problem. You know what I mean? Americans hurt Americans more than any other country. Americans. What is it, my baby? And I'm with you, Todd. The division came from the white side because they didn't want nobody else to be lit. You say thanks for the show now. Well, you know what? Get over there and put on the notification bell so when I'm live, you can know what's popping. You feel me? Smash that like. Thanks for that support. I mean, share me out. Double tap the stream. I mean, you say Obama and you say Israel. There's 44 of y'all in here. All 44 of y'all, double tap the stream that haven't. If you haven't supported the stream, get overturned on the notification bells. If you're enjoying the conversation, leave a comment below this stream on what would you like to comment on, or if you got your own interesting theory or hypothesis of what's going on. I mean, I'm open-minded and I'm free for a conversation. So make sure y'all answer. You know what I mean? Start leaving some comments underneath some of this stuff, fam. Everybody, Americans sabotage America, family. I'm gonna say that. To pretend like Trump isn't bringing this country down is disingenuous. OG, that's a dope word, ain't it? But I know who that is. OJ G Love, disingenuous, true indeed. I don't hate anyone, but I dislike a lot. Me too, user. Niggas more butch than ashtrays. What Biggie say? Smash that like, y'all. That's what it is. It's 46 of y'all in here, man. 38 of y'all in here. We about to wrap this up, man. Smash that like, man, on y'all way out. Thanks for coming through and support. We'll be back in the fruit with another catchy title and some more great convo. We're gonna let us load back up over here at the BMC. Greatly appreciate it. Salute everybody that came through and showed their support. That's what it is, family. Peace, y'all.